Savage begins now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wrestling with Savage. We're here live tonight to talk about NXT live from the Performance Center. We opened up with a video package of Braun Breaker being attacked and kidnapped. Braun Breaker has a big bag on his head. And Gacy's telling him it's time to be alone in the wilderness, I guess. I'm not a fan of this story. Jay, welcome to the show. Did you like the way NXT opened up tonight?
Well, I like the fact that they explained to us what happened since it cut off last week. So, yeah, I kind of like how it started. I didn't even know what happened. Okay. I think we mentioned that last week.
Yeah, no, that's true. So you like that it opened up and just told you right away kind of like what was going on with that instead of making you wait for it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, horrible production last week. I mean, what the hell?
I don't know. To me, the whole thing's a little cringy. I don't know. I think they're giving this guy too much early. Like, you know, this is just NXT. You know, I don't know why you have all these... and I guess he had, like, 2 masked people with him. We'll talk about that later. Overall, NXT was a fun night tonight. We had a lot of matches. There was a lot of wrestling, unlike last night, Monday Night Raw. So, I don't know. I think I had a little more fun with tonight's matches as opposed to last night's matches, for sure. And, of course, when you start off the night with Mandy Rose at ringside, it's always going to be a good night, right? So you had Toxic Attraction coming to the ring for the match between Roxanne Perez, Wendy Choo versus Toxic Attraction. You have Gigi Dolan and JC Jane with Mandy Rose at ringside. I thought the girls were smiling way too much. I noticed that Wendy Choo was missing a couple of her melee shots. There was a super nasty botch on one of the Hurricane Ranas that was just fucking really bad. The calling of the spots was way too obvious. We went to commercial, and then there was a nice spot of Perez doing a missile dive through the ropes, and that was taking us into picture-in-picture. There was a nice takedown clothesline by Gigi Dolan, and there was also a good spot where she was pulling the hair, you know, trying to bounce her off the canvas to inflict some damage. That was a decent spot. Looked a little believable. Mandy Rose was causing a distraction, so they got a cheap shot on Wendy. Wendy made the hot tag. Perez came in, did a pretty nice Luthez press. I was kind of caught off by guard by that. I didn't think she was going to pull that move out. So that was nice to see that. Nice shout out to Luthez. There was also a nice Russian leg sweep that Perez did that I liked. I really can't take Wendy Choo too serious, to be honest with you. When I watch the matches that she's in, I just can't take her serious with the pajamas, her little sleeping elbow drop that she does. The poses, the smiling, the giggles. It's not for me. It's not a good look for pro wrestling, in my opinion. It looks something like that you would see on the indies. I'm not a fan of that particular gimmick or storyline at all. Perez took a very nasty bump. It looked like she might have even tweaked her ankle or her leg in some way. Toxic Attraction ends up coming up with a big super kick to finish the match off. Perez was on the outside, Mandy Rose jumps in, and all of a sudden we have a 3-on-1 beatdown. I was glad that they made an example of Wendy Choo. I appreciated it, because after not appreciating her gimmick and the things that she did in the course of the match, it was nice to see her get the shit kicked out of her. Don't mess with Toxic Attraction, especially Mandy Rose. Probably the best interference by an NXT Women's Champion I've ever seen in my life. You know? It's just Mandy Rose is great. This match gets a 3.5, specifically because of Mandy Rose. If she's not at ringside, this match is getting a 2.
That's a great analysis there of someone that didn't even wrestle for the night.
Yeah.
But you know, my take was I was excited, but I was also a little disappointed. I was more disappointed at Roxanne Perez. What I saw was basically an entertaining match. It has a good spots. Roxanne Perez went for a roll-up, but it just... she went for a tilt spin roll-up, but instead she landed on Gigi Dolan's head for that split second. So that was a big botch right there, as you mentioned on your analysis.
Yeah, there was a couple of botches, yeah.
She made up for it. She had a nice suicide double clothesline.
Yep.
That kind of made up for it big. Wendy Choo didn't really do that. She took most of the damage, so she did a lot of selling, which isn't bad. Her selling's not horrible. But overall, I don't really think she impressed me. I could see why people could get sick of the gimmick. But this is like her third gimmick, if you really think about it. This is the one that's actually paying off. That actually got her a new contract like a few months back. So it's working out, and fans are loving it, regardless if you hate it or not. It's getting over, and overall, there was just some, like you mentioned, super kicks to end the match. But it was just really lovely spots. Mandy Rose coming in, trying to do the interference. I really thought it was going to end like that, just like we've been seeing all night last night like that. But it didn't. There was actually a super kick to a finish. I enjoyed that, but I'm gonna give it 3 stars just for there was just a little hesitation and that big botch that just kind of killed it and kind of disappointed me for Roxanne Perez. Plus, I want to see her do more wrestling moves. I feel like I saw the same thing last week, this week. The only new thing I saw was a suicide dive. If you noticed last week's match and this week, it's been just roll ups and tilt-a-whirl roll-ups or head scissor into a roll-up. I want to see something different.
Yeah, I don't blame you, to be honest. It's a lot of the same things in a lot of these matches lately, and NXT is now kind of turning into Raw a little bit with the whole non-stop video packages. Like, they jam a lot of video packages. They jam a lot of different content in your face right away. Some of it's better than others. After this match, we had a video package from earlier in the week, a clip of Grayson Waller shopping with Tiffany. I I don't know. I'm not 100% concrete on Grayson Waller yet. I need to see him compete. He competed tonight, which we're going to talk about in a little bit when we get into his match. But I need to see more out of him to make a concrete decision on whether I think he deserves more time in NXT. Not even a call-up, just more time in NXT before we send his ass to the Indies to really go to school and learn. They were saying something about Chase U is for, nerds. Girls look like wildebeests. We go into commercial, and then there's Joe Gacy walking with his minions. They're really going hard with this whole Joe Gacy gimmick and his minions and everything. That's nonstop. After that, we had a promo with Roderick Strong and the Creed brothers. Creed brothers are talking about, we didn't appreciate you interfering in the match. We want a clean win. We're going to have another match with the Viking Raiders next week to clarify this whole nonsense that you did. We want a clean victory. We want to do it the right way. And then, of course, Roderick Strong was talking about a new member that he recruited, apparently, without talking to the Creed brothers, which they didn't really appreciate. They said they were going to talk about it later, which we never got to see, that conversation. A new member is called Damon Kemp. And I'm wondering, is this Sean Kemp's son or something? Do you think?
No clue. He's like a F1 fighter from what they say.
F1 fighter. Okay, I'm going to have to look up Damon Kemp. This was his first time on TV. I don't think he's had a match on TV yet. So I guess we'll have to wait.
First time.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So you don't know nothing about him except that he's a F1 fighter.
Just what they said tonight, that he was a F1 fighter. So I gotta have to do some research on him. I honestly don't know. It's the first time I've seen him.
It looks like they're gonna split up. Probably you're gonna probably see Roderick and Damon go against the Creed brothers. Probably, I'm sure they're gonna work a program in a couple of weeks. I see them breaking up. I don't see that lasting. The Diamond Mine.
Just horrible from the jump.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The Creed brothers don't need to be in a faction. I think they can stay relevant by themselves. After this, we had a promo from Joe Gacy. You said you're liking all this, so I'm going to let you get more into it. I'll just tell you what I thought real quick. Basically, he was talking about leaving us in the wilderness. What? What's up?
I was a little confused. So I know he said, if you beat me, it's the next chapter, next phase, and all of this. But I thought at one point he was going to introduce the two guys behind him.
Yes.
Because he said something, he's like, these two men right here is when the expansion begins, is what I quoted. And I really thought they were going to uncover this. So that was very confusing that never happened. And it just went from him talking about Braun and he wants him to join him. So that just completely threw me off I didn't understand this. It was just a little awkward, and just not the explanation just made it completely weird for me. So I did like it until this whole minion, these followers are coming, and just for not getting the explanation of these two men that he was talking about more than a minute. I mean, it was obvious he was talking about these two men, and we didn't even get a reveal. So I'm just left at, I guess, as the fans were saying tonight in Orlando, shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
because I did not understand this promo, and I can't. If I were to rate it, I give it a 1 star, because Joe Gacy did have intensity. He showed it. His facials were great. You can't deny that. Even at the end, I thought it was great close-up camera of his eyes. So I give him a 1 for that. But it was just very confusing, and I think everybody just wanted, as they said, shut the fuck up. I mean, I was chanting along with them.
Well, I think they were saying shut the hell up, but they might as well have said shut the fuck up. Basically, he was telling that he left him in the wilderness to start his journey alone. Talks about change. Two men separated themselves from the pack. These two proved their worth to me. Like you said, he kept talking about these two guys. They went above and beyond and committed to my cause. By taking that extra step, my cause, my message has been received. These are the faces of change. Change takes place one person at a time. Crowd chanting, shut the hell up, for a very long time, like you mentioned. Joe asking Braun to be a part of this change, and the result will be pure joy. Those who resist will suffer. Zoom in on my eyes. Make sure you catch the pimple that's up here that's healing. Make sure you look at his eyebrows that have obviously been plucked. Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I thought it was too much. I wouldn't even rate this promo. Like I said, I think they're giving this guy way too much too soon. He should be doing more wrestling and less talking. My opinion.
You got to look at the facts. Is that he's just a great talker, believe it or not, in NXT. He's probably one of the best talkers they have down there, believe it or not. So the fact is that you can tell this is not him. He's not being unique. I think he was unique before these followers. It just got really weird when Harlan got released, Parker Bordeaux. After that, everything just kind of went into this weird direction, like ministry / Bray Wyatt type of field. And I don't know if they were trying to combine it as one, but it should have just been left off the way it was before.
What was his original gimmick? Just a wrestler?
It was just him dressed in black and talking about acceptance and to, join him in his follow, and be by his side. That's what it was about.
So he was pretty much the same as he is now.
Good Max or Magic.
He was the same as he is now, but without minions.
Without the magic.
Without the minions and the magic.
Without the magic.
All right, so I'll give him a chance because, like you said, I didn't get to see his work. I just started recently rewatching NXT specifically so we could do shows like this because I thought NXT was in a real bad place for a real long time.
It was just, you could tell, like, this promo made no sense and it was very confusing. You mentioned some lines saying about these two men that there was no explanation.
I thought there was going to be an unveil coming. I thought they were going to take off the mask or something, and maybe there was going to be a surprise. Yeah,
he pointed to both of them.
It was weird. It didn't make sense.
That's where it was weird.
It didn't make sense. After that, we had another promo. Chase U talking about the mixed tag match. Back from commercial, I was actually impressed with these commercials tonight. I'm not going to lie to you. NXT did a better job of promoting this girl in one night than WWE did promoting Lacey Evans in 5 weeks. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Let's see. I have no idea.
Ivy Nile. And we had her push-up challenges. She's up to 90, making all these men tap out. Looks like she's ready to beat up Ronda Rousey, Bianca Belair, and Mandy Rose all at the same damn time. Ivy Nile looks impressive. I want to see her in the ring.
She's been in the ring.
I want to see her. I want to see her on Monday nights.
I'm not impressed.
She's not good?
I'm just not impressed. I just seen I seen it.
She looked good in the promo. So if she can improve in the ring, she could have a career here. We'll see what happens with her. I don't know. I have to see her in the ring to make a judgment, and especially I need to see her after maybe 6 months. Give her some time to really improve. Wrestling's not easy. Wrestling takes time. Some people pick it up quicker than others. Some people don't. Some people remember to keep their chin tucked in, and some people don't. And the people that don't, they're the ones that go on concussion protocol.
And actually, one wrestler came back from concussion protocol tonight.
Oh yeah, who's that?
That was that Maria Miller girl.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they showed the whole.
She had a concussion 2 months ago.
After that, the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament's coming up. We had a match between Fallon Henley and Sloane Jacobs. The match opens up with some nice spots in traditional wrestling, and then the Hillbillies, Briggs and Jensen have to come on down and get involved. Fallon Henley looks like she does not need any help. She looks like she's ready to take over without any kind of help or interference at all. Sloane had a nice big boot. Haley with X Factor and smooth slide out the ring, landing a nice shot doing so. There was also a double X Factor spot that looked good. The match had a good flow to it overall. There was some good shots, some good spots. Really nice neck breaker by Sloane. Sloane was showing some pretty strong power. She picked, Henley right over her head. She showed 19 years old and she's picking up. Henley doesn't look like she weighs like 10 pounds. She looks like a thick girl too. So she showed a lot of power. Haley was showing some pure wrestling ability at the end. Showed what it looks like to have a nice spot, nice set for a finish. Big running boot for the finish. And like I said earlier tonight to my wife who was watching, I said, look, this country girl's boots, they will walk all over you. Showed some great sportsmanship. I actually gave the match 3.5. I thought it was a good match. I didn't see a lot of mistakes. I saw some good forearm shots. I thought it was a pretty good match.
So, my analysis is I did not like the fact that NXT introduced all the women that are in this tournament. And not only that, they showed us the bracket. Yeah. I did not enjoy that because I felt it should have not been shown like that. I would have been more surprised, but it's obvious you could tell who's going to qualify from semifinals to finals.
Well, it's going to end with Lyons and Lash. You know
exactly.
that.
So my whole take on this, my whole analysis is that you build up the last 3-4 weeks, these, I guess you want to call them mids, right? These people we do not know of. And they're cutting all these promos, and now they're getting all buried because we basically know they're not going to make it. We saw 2 tonight that had great potential, and they got crapped on. This is not really a breakout tournament to me. It's just like come on, like it's obvious we could all tell who's going to advance next week and so on.
Well, for sure, but maybe there's a reason why they did it like that, so they could just kind of throw it out there. Get people's names out there, delay it.
I thought it killed it for me personally. I thought it killed it. I thought it should have just been, we'll just announce this match next week. Something like that. But it's obvious you can know what's going to happen. So going into the match, I only enjoyed Henley doing the backbreaker into the clothesline. I thought that was a nice spot, and I thought she hit the Shining Wizard for the 1-2-3 was a nice spot. But overall, I don't like her character.
That's what that finisher's called, the Shining Wizard?
Well, it's a Shining Wizard. It's just basically the kick to your head, and that's it. So, personally, I don't like her character. I didn't like when those 2 guys came out because there was really no reason why they came out.
Yeah. Well, I guess for support.
It was just a little. I don't know. This match wasn't really doing it for me, but overall, she did have some spots, so I'll give it a 2.
I thought Henley did a great job tonight. I thought she actually looked like a star at a second half of the match. She really was coming out with the intensity, hard-hitting shots. I just saw something a little extra in her tonight. So, to me, she's my sleeper pick. If I had to pick someone to win besides Lyons and Lash, which Lyons is obviously going to win, it would be Henley, actually, so far from what I saw tonight. We had a segment after that with Santos Escobar. basically saying that he has to treat disrespect with a swift response. And then, of course, Tony D's crew is going to have to learn the hard way. I like everything about Escobar's part of this storyline. I guess Tony showed a little more intensity tonight in his promos, but there's another segment with him coming up after. We come back from commercial. Tony's attacking one of Los Fantasma, and they throw him into the trunk and, I guess, kidnap him. I guess kidnapping's what we're doing now in NXT week to week. It's just the theme.
It's been like that before, so nothing new to me.
After that, we had the match with who you mentioned earlier, Amari Miller versus Alba Fire. They showed a clip of Miller being injured. Basically, to me, Alba Fire looks like a skinnier, younger version of Becky with a bat in hand. Kind of has a Game of Thrones vibe. There was another challenge before the match started from Ivy Nile, a burpee challenge. Then the match was really fast-paced, started off quick, a lot of fierce chops. Miller showed me a decent arm drag from the top rope, showed some nice agility, nice athleticism. It was followed up by a very close to perfect neck breaker that they hit. They landed it real nice. Timing was good. The spot was point on. Like, it made sense for that moment. Alba Fire with a nice series of super kicks and a snap DDT with a bounce off the turnbuckle. I know you saw that, and that was actually pretty impressive. How fast she just bounced off that turnbuckle and then hit the spinning DDT with a good landing, actually. The ladies were now exchanging some stiff shots. There was also a very innovative takedown that I saw by Miller. She was using her body to trip up Alba Fire. I thought that was pretty cool, pretty innovative. I'm sure it's been done before, but I don't think I've seen it in a very long time. Maybe never. It was pretty innovative. It looked like something we don't get to see every day. There was a nice headbutt by Fire, reminiscent of Drew McIntyre a little bit. It was also followed by her firebomb, and then a nice senton bomb to grab the win. I gave the match a 3.
So this match was actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually wrestling. I wasn't really impressed with Alba Fire, to be honest. Just that spot you mentioned at the end.
The bounce off the turnbuckle, right?
Yeah, I don't like the smoke coming out in the background while she's holding this bat.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she does look like a Becky Lynch ripoff.
Yeah.
So I don't like that either.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like their old way, but it is what it is. But, Miller has some great spots, and I don't understand why she does the firebomb, but now she has to do swantons off the turn. She never did that. So that's just very confusing for me. So, overall,
Trying something new.
Just more,
she did land it well.
She did, but she never does that. So for
So you
me,
thought it was weird.
it was just a little weird. So for me, it was just a really good match, though. Pressed by Miller, I could see why they're not going to release this girl.
She's good.
Future star up there they got. She kind of reminds me like Tasha Steele from Impact, but, just a little more nicer. So, yeah, she got potential. I enjoyed it. 3.5 for me.
Okay. Yeah, no, it was a good match, man. She has really good footwork and definitely a future in the NXT Women's Division. After that, we had a segment with Carmelo Hayes getting locked out by Solo Sikoa. Then we had an interview with Cora Jade. She was talking about how she's ready to bust down the gate to prove that she belongs and hang with the future Hall of Famer. Wade Barrett decides to say the words are cheap. Next, we have a segment with Solo Sikoa saying it's my time now. Crowd was all chanting Usu Usu. He brings up the North American Championship. Says we know what happened last week. In my opinion, he looked a little nervous. Finally, he got going. He looked like he was getting more comfortable, but he was interrupted by Cameron Grimes, telling him that he respects him.
I don't think he knew what to say for the first 2-3 minutes.
Yeah,
I think he was trying to figure it out.
He looked super
confused,
nervous. He started finding a little bit of a rhythm, but then, like I said, he was interrupted by Cameron Grimes.
He was buying time, though. He was like,
probably.
He's like, yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, why are you saying that? And he did it again. Yeah, yeah.
He was trying to hype them up, man. He was saying that at In Your
He was
House,
covering his ass. He was covering his ass. He
yeah,
didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say.
at In Your House, Cameron Grimes said it's going to be him versus Carmelo Hayes for a one-on-one. But he did say that after he beats Hayes, you can have a shot at this title. You have my word. Hayes attacked Grimes. Solo comes into clean house and help Grimes out. Goes over as the huge baby face. All the crowd's chanting. Apparently, everybody down there at Florida Performance Center, they love this guy Solo. They were on his side no matter what he said. So they didn't care. They like this guy. He's their guy.
It's like I told you. He doesn't really do much, and he gets over. Tonight, he just did. He just saved his own ass because he did not know what to say for the first.
Because these are all Bloodline fans. That's why.
All I know is he didn't know what to say for the first 2-3 minutes. But once again, he's impressive. Once again, I say he's the next one to hold the title or to take it away from whoever heel they give it to be the top babyface once Braun leaves. So I'm calling it, and we're seeing it, and we're seeing the reactions. He's not really doing anything, and he's getting over. Braun was kind of the same way if you think about it when he fought LA Knight in his first match. He was pretty much over just because everybody knew he was Rex Steiner. He was, Rex Steiner's son. So I'm kind of seeing the same thing over here. This guy Solo is part of the Bloodline. He's a Uso, so he's getting over regardless. And Bloodline is on top right now, so he doesn't really need to do. He just needs to sit back. He could do a big botch like Sasha Banks and get away with it.
Yeah, absolutely. After that, we had another segment with Escobar looking for his associate. Made a call to Tony D, showing them in a room counting money. Tony says, who? He says, it's me. Who? Me, it's me. This whole fucking thing is fucking bad. It's just fucking bad. Please make this shit fucking stop. I don't want to cover it. I don't even care what your take is on this. I don't want to fucking hear it because it's bad. It's a shit show. I don't want to hear it. I know what you're going to say.
I've seen this movie a bunch of times because I like mob movies. This movie's it was from. They basically stole this from Analyze This. Basically, it's with Robert De Niro, Billy Crystal. Rob De Niro's a mob boss.
Man, all right. Are you kidding me right now? Why are we talking about Analyze This?
They stole that whole scene and they cut it into this promo. If you look back into that movie, this was the worst promo I think. No, this cannot be the worst. The worst was him and AJ Galante. Please watch that, folks. But this is really up there. This is like borderline number 2 for sure because this was completely bad.
I'm ready to move on when you're ready to be done with this. All right, nice. Interview with Grayson Waller. I'm cheering for Andre Chase. Xenon Quinn says, hey now, keep your head down and you will be fine. Oh, yeah, no, they had an interview with, what's his name, Nathan?
Your boy, Nathan Frazier.
Nathan Frazier, that's right. And he said that he was cheering for Andre Chase. Then Xenon Quinn says, keep your head down and you'll be fine. Wesley comes in. Xeon tells him, I already put you in your place. I don't know. They're hyping up 3 different guys that we're probably only going to see wrestle once in the next 4 weeks. So, whatever. After this, we had a match with the Grayson Waller and Tiffany Stratton versus Saray and Andre Chase. Now, I actually like the way the Chase you guys came out. They did a nice little vignette into, when they come out, they had different clothes on. That was actually a nice little touch. Added a little something extra to their entrance. Chase and Waller started off the match. Excellent opening series with some unique spots. There was a nice take on a leapfrog from Waller that I liked. He had his own quick version of the suck it as well. Saray was chasing Stratton around. Stratton lured her into a cheap attack. Saray quickly took advantage. Spanked Stratton, which I enjoyed very much so. Nice. There was a nice submission by Saray and a big chop as well. Waller comes in and gets a heavy chop by Chase. Absolutely gorgeous. Double team vault moonsault by Stratton. That shit was legit. Huge drop kicks by Saray looking painful. There was a nice drop kick on Waller by Saray. Stratton had Saray finished. And an interruption by Chase with a bullhorn helped Saray kick out. Stratton with a sick over-the-top attack on Brody to the outside. And when she comes back in the ring, she's rolled up by Saray, who picks up the win for her and Adam Chase. Honestly, Stratton looked like a fucking star tonight. She looked like she looked like an OG Charlotte Flair, plus 15 pounds. Her ring movement's nice. That little finisher she has is smooth as butter. That remember when the guy came and interrupted with a bullhorn, man? Did you see how fast she made that attack to the outside of the ring? That shit looked hell of impressive. I actually gave this match a 3, and I'm telling you, I'm calling it right now. Stratton looks like a fucking star. And Waller still hits the ropes like a little baby. He doesn't even lean into the ropes. He's like, little bitch.
So my whole take is shout out to Andre Chase wearing Space Jam Jordans tonight in the match.
Good call.
Respect. I thought that was pretty cool. Saray was really impressive in this match. But what was more impressive was the chemistry between Waller and Stratton. It looked like they've been doing this a bunch of times. Great chemistry, great facials, great selling. Tiffany Stratton really shined. I love the part where I called this. She did I call it a nice twirl around splash on Saray. I thought that was very nice on the corner. Very nice spot. Also, the moonsault you mentioned was also a very nice spot. Overall, I think the person that really shined the most, believe it or not, even though it's supposed to be Saray, was Tiffany Stratton tonight. Waller didn't do much, but once again, he's been impressing me, and tonight was another time he impressed me. I like how he gets out of arm drags. I like his athleticism. You know, he has agility. He has speed. He could definitely be an annoying heel. He kind of reminds me of Miz, but kind of a lower level Miz. So I could tolerate that, but he's becoming more impressive. We all know he does that second rope elbow splash. That's like his basically signature move right there. I like his little basketball taunt into the suck it, as you mentioned. That's pretty awesome. Overall, it really wasn't about anybody but I guess Tiffany Stratton tonight. So for me, I really enjoyed this match. Believe it or not, even though I felt the commercial took a lot of time that we did not get to see in this match, because once we came back from commercial, the match kind of ended in like 3 to 5 minutes. So I kind of felt we missed a lot. But overall, I'm going to give it a 4. Give it a 4.
4? That's a really high grade, man. Listen, it was a good match. I had a lot of fun with this match. Like I said, Stratton comes off looking like a star. I need to see more from Waller before I can make a decision. I need to see more singles matches, and I need to just see him have a little more time in the ring and a little more time at the gym, a little more time at the performance center, putting in that work, hitting those ropes like a beast. I think if he starts just, leaning in a little more and adds a little more oomph to every one of his steps, every one of his moves, he actually might be able to make it in this business. Maybe. After that, we had another challenge from Ivy Nile. This time it was the lunges. Just making all the men look like shit. They're really trying to hype her up as a badass. And after that, we had an interview with Von Wagner, basically letting us know that if you step to Von Wagner, you will become demolished. Wagner is now attacked by someone that I don't even know. Do you know who attacked him?
I call him Jacket. I think they call him Jacket because he always wears this jacket. And then
really? That's his name?
I call him Jackets.
You call him Jackets, okay.
Basically, his jacket's like his life or whatever, and the whole situation, how these guys got into it, is that Wagner threw his jacket and ripped it and threw it in the crowd, and this guy, I don't know, was crying, was heartbroken. So I call him Jackets because he had another jacket tonight. So I don't know, man.
That's wild, man.
Wagner should not be in these type of
Wagner shouldn't be
right
talking
now.
any shit. His last match that I critiqued was a joke. There was botches, there was mistakes, there was bad shots, bad everything. So, having this guy have that kind of performance and then putting on this kind of promo makes no sense. Get this man in the ring so he can redeem himself and get back on track for being a real certified NXT superstar.
I wouldn't mind seeing him on SmackDown again. He was on SmackDown one time.
What, did he get
one
beat?
time?
Did he get beat up and then that was it?
No, he was. Adam Pearce had to get security, so he was one of the security for one night, and he did good.
Oh, you know who else was a security
and they
guard?
canceled the whole plan.
Once upon a time, Mr. MJF for Samoa Joe. You remember that? Yeah. Maybe I'll be like MJF one day. Probably not though. After that, we had a segment with Indy Hartwell and Toxic Attraction. Mandy says she can't imagine what she's going through. Indy says her soul is empty. And Mandy says, no, I'm not talking about that. I just can't imagine what you're going through because no man's ever left Mandy Rose. Misery loves company. Bye, loser. I don't know much about Indy Hartwell. Can you bring us up to date on Indy Hartwell and what she's all about?
I never thought she was a great wrestler.
Okay. So I
never thought she got elevated when she was in the way. It's just overall, I haven't seen nothing. I only saw one nice spot from her. That was that tag match when they won the tag team titles.
I'm just saying, does this promo have like any kind of? Is there like a past connection to this, or is this all new?
This is just basically shitting on her. So that's what it is. But I don't think she's impressive. I think we'll see her on the list of next NXT stars to be released.
The list of Jay. We need to make that a thing. We need to have.
She's definitely on the list.
She's on the list.
She's on the list.
She's on the list.
Yeah.
Okay. After that, we had a match with Nikita Lyons versus Ariana Grace. Or Lions. I don't know. I got to find out what the real pronunciation is.
Lions. They say Lions.
Grace tells us she will be upset. She will actually pull up an upset. She says Lions is a badass, but this ain't my first tournament. I've done jiu-jitsu and beauty pageants. Lions goes on to shake her hands, and Grace just slaps Lions. The match starts off with some real nice wrestling and a great spot reminiscent of an RVD spot with Jerry Lynn back from ECW. You can see right away that both these girls have the it factor and do not lack intensity. Lions had a very impressive showing of strength with the pickup powerbomb. I wish she would have got a little higher, but it was still an impressive showing of strength. Grace coming in with a game plan, working Lions' left arm very well and very convincingly. Had about 5 good shots to the arm and then just continued to work submissions, really working the technical side of the match. Grace was very impressive thus far. Lions just has too much power, though, and was able to get back to her feet and finally take control of the match. Lions with a very nice roundhouse kick. The second roundhouse kick, not so much. There was a very decent German suplex. It could have been a little better. It was a little sloppy, but she still went over her head and took a nasty bump. It still accomplished its goal and it looked nasty. After that, we had a third roundhouse kick, which made up for the second. And then, of course, she did her signature ass drop, or whatever it's called. Picked up the win. And honestly, that last kick, it was very well placed, looked legit. Overall, I gave the match a 3-star. I thought it was too short.
Life, once again, just because I've seen the bracket, I already know the outcome of this match. But the person that was more impressive was Ariana Grace.
Yeah,
they need to keep her and sign her as soon as possible.
Yeah,
she was working on. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was working on that left arm. It was working. I was buying into it. She has a face she could sell. Her facials are great. She knows how to wrestle. This person is impressive today. But you already know the outcome, and this is why I don't like when you show these type of brackets. And to me, it's a buzzkill. That third roundhouse kick into I call it the split splash, because that's...
Yeah, you're right.
It sounds pretty cool.
It adds more of a surprise when you don't know what match you're going to see. So I agree with you there.
Overall, this match wasn't bad.
No, it was good.
I give it 3 stars because Ariana Grace.
So we're on the same page for that match. Okay, that's
2. That's two breakout stars that were impressive tonight.
We're
Two.
usually not on the same page for gradings, so we were right there on this match, 3 stars each. It was a good
impressive.
match. They both came
She was
across.
impressive.
They both came across looking like stars tonight, both of them.
I thought Nikita Lyons was selling too much on the left arm.
She was trying to make this girl look good, though.
Too
So
much.
you can't blame her for being a team
But-
player, though.
But she was kind of reminding me of Ziggler. Like sometimes he oversell. Like she just kind of oversell just a tad to that. I'm not saying the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm just saying at certain points
I can
when
see
you're trying
that.
to
I
lift
can see
her
that.
into the bomb. Like okay, like come on.
I can see that. My only gripe with the whole match was I wish she would have got a little more on the pickup power bomb. Other than that, the match was good. After that, we had another challenge from Ivy Nile. This time it was the battle ropes and the pull-ups. Like I said earlier, with all this promos they're giving this chick in one night, I see her coming for Mandy's title. Like, real quick. After that, we had a Cora Jade video package showing her to be a young fan of Natty, how much it means to be a fan of Natty, how much it means to have a match with Natty, and that she's going to prove Natty wrong. She's going to prove Natty wrong. Well, we're going to find out momentarily if she did just that. We're going to find out. After this, we had a promo for the Viking Raiders, and they were going full Viking Raider in this promo. They said when the bell rings next week, all that respect and honor, it's going to be put to the side. Ragnarok awaits. So we'll see. I'm calling Creed Brothers to win next week clean. 100%. I'm calling it right now.
I'm gonna say Viking Raiders by DQ.
Maybe, yeah, you're right. They're not going to let these guys get a clean win. Roderick Strong's going to come down with that new guy, cause some bullshit. They're planting the seeds. It'd be nice to see them get a clean win, but whatever. Not yet. After this, next week, we get an announcement that Tony D and Santos Escobar are going to have a match. Next week, Braun Breaker's going to return to answer Joe Gacy's invitation. Like, we don't know how that's going to go. He's going to come back and just join Joe Gacy? No, we know that.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll give a spoiler right here. Joe Gacy will win the belt the same weekend as SummerSlam, that pay-per-view. And we'll see Braun in the main roster.
Why? So they
Predicting it.
can have him chasing the 24/7 title?
I'm just calling it.
I'm calling it. Braun Breaker, 24/7 champion, January 1st.
I say he loses in that SummerSlam weekend.
All right. Well, there's a prediction by Jay and by Savage.
We'll see.
Next, we had the main event. The main event coming at you live from the Performance Center. Longtime life fan Cora Jade versus her her idol, her hero, the person she looked up to her whole life, and also the woman who holds the record for the most wins in the WWE. I believe she used to be the woman that held the record for the fastest match of all time, or did she get that back? She still has that record, fastest win ever.
Thought it was Aaliyah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was Aaliyah, but it was Natty, and then Aaliyah took it. I want to stick with that. Well, the match starts off. Cora Jade hits a very nice Hurricane Rana off the ropes. So far, the match was on cruise control because when you are in there with a vet like Natty, it's going to be an easy night at the office. Natty's going to do a bulk of the work for you without even asking her to, because that's just who she is. She's going to carry you to where you need to go, because Natty is a pro. She's one of the longest working female wrestlers in the history of the business. She's still working today. She's been working almost 20 years now, I think. Maybe how many years do you think she has?
Probably 20 plus.
Where's her celebration?
When she retires.
It's fucked up, man. After
She
that,
already won the belt. She's good, bro.
no, yeah, she is. Cora going for that sharpshooter, and Natty quickly putting an end to that idea. Cora with the submission during the commercial break, and Natty taking back control. Very good spot leading to a nice drop kick by Jade. Natty with the shove. Cora with the slap to the face. Might be a big mistake, Miss Jade. We'll find out. Very nice running knee by Cora, followed by an even better bulldog. I did like that bulldog. I thought it was well delivered. Cora going to the top rope. Natty quickly climbs up, tries to turn it into a superplex. Cora does not allow it, and Natty goes for the sharpshooter. Cora with a quick roll-up, and Natty finally ends the series with a huge clothesline, turning Cora inside out. But we get a kick out, and the match continues. Natty with a nasty snap suplex on the ropes, followed by a chop block, and now Natty locking in on the legs and getting more aggressive. Natty taking Cora's legs and smashing it against the ring post, giving us all a big smile while Cora screaming in agony. Cora blocks the attempt for a figure 4 on the post and crawls back to the middle of the ring, biding her time, trying to heal up, trying to recover. She was really selling the leg, trying to let you all know Natty just fucked me up. Natty gets back in the ring, and we get another nice knee spot from Jade, followed by a beautiful double stomp and a kick out by Natty. Jade locks in the sharpshooter, and Natty breaks out. Jade quickly goes for a top rope move, and Natty pulls her down, locks in the sharpshooter, and Jade fights her way to the ropes, only to be pulled by Natty in the middle of the ring, forcing her to knock the fuck out. We didn't have a tap out here, but Natty won by submission because she pulled the Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13 and just decided to pass the fuck out. And Natty wins. I gave it a 3-star because, we've seen it. It's nothing original. I don't know. That's my take. A good match. Maybe 3.5 at best. I've seen it.
I like the match, and then I hate it. I hate it because Natty did too many calling. She called too many shots.
She called the whole match.
She called the whole match, and it was obvious from the camera angles, even when it was side to side. When Cora Jade was going for that second or third rope into the head scissors you mentioned, it was obvious she was saying, ready, go. I heard it. If I was there, I seen it. I seen the words. She called most of the spots here in Natty, and it was just too obvious. That was a buzzkill for me. I thought Cora Jade shined at moments, but what I didn't like from her was the end. I didn't believe that she passed out. I thought it was just a little bit of, I guess, if you want to say, bad selling, more or less. I didn't think she really sold that well to me because I didn't believe she passed out. It was just a little awkward. It was a little weird. What also was really weird and really didn't sit well with me is that Natty is the heel. She came into NXT as the heel. She has a tag team title match this Friday in SmackDown as a heel with Shayna Baszler. And she's a heel here, but all of a sudden she picks her up and gives her a hug. And they smile. That doesn't sit well with me at all because that is just basically, what are we watching then? I thought you were a heel coming in with this attitude from your music hit, and now you're giving her a hug. That doesn't sit well with me at all. Overall, Cora J. Shine, I like the tornado DDT she did. She does sell great. I do think she is the future of this women's division. I think it's what they really need, but not now. I will kind of slowball this till next year, to give it a WrestleMania weekend. But right now, she did shine, even though the match wasn't as, I guess, as smooth as I want it to be. So overall, even though this is one of my, a great wrestler in my view, I give it 2.5.
Can't say that I blame you, man. I really can't say that I blame you at all, to be honest. I gave the whole show overall a 3 because at the end of the day, it served its purpose. It's a wrestling show. We got to see wrestling matches with clean finishes. So at the end of the night, I was still satisfied that I got to see a good amount of wrestling, good spots, good moves. Had a good time. Wasn't the worst NXT I've ever seen. Wasn't the best NXT I've ever seen. It was actually better than most of Monday Night Raw. But besides that, just a 3 for me for tonight. I guess we'll see what happens next week with Braun Breaker and Joe Gacy and that whole storyline. And obviously we're going to get some matches next week. Probably more of the, breakout star matches. We got something to look forward to. But for now, that's it for NXT. Tomorrow we're going to be at AEW Live. So there will be no AEW results show tomorrow night. That show will be coming on the air Thursday night, where we'll be bringing you our actual live recaps. If you want all the AEW Rampage spoilers, we'll have them for you, because we're going to stick around and make sure we watch every single match. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, follow us. Hit the like button, absolutely. And you can also listen to us on Spotify as well. Just look for Wrestling with Savage. If you can't find any of the links, no worries. Just visit the website, wrestlingwithsavage.com, and you can find all the links there. You can also read about Jay and Dave. Shout out to Dave. He's not here with us tonight. He doesn't enjoy NXT, but he will be with us Thursday night to discuss AEW Dynamite and Rampage. And we're trying not to lose our voices tomorrow night. At least I will.
We're saving it. We gotta save it now. So good night, folks.
Yeah, security at UBS. I'll see you guys tomorrow night.